Hi, friends, followers, viewers, welcome. We're going to have a look into, this Lionsgate that is opening up now. I always feel that every year when we move deeper into July and then for certain in the beginning of August, having the high point at the 8th of August every year, I feel this opening, this door coming in that is like luring me in. And that has this source energy pulsating there, wanting to send new life-giving information about life, about my life, about our shared life, our conversation, about what I have to bring across in my teachings as an online teacher with my school, in Twin Flame Union, and in how to steer that in working and nurturing and fertile roads for you. And it started already quite some days ago to really grab me. And I want to research further what that is for this year, 2025, for all of us when you watch, when you're in my school or are about to enter the group year course Twin Flame Abundance Now, that actually closes its door on Friday, August 8th, 2025. So make sure that you look if it's for you before the high point of the Lionsgate, and also buy your silver or gold membership before the day of Friday, August 8th is over. I just want to know what this time really is about for us, because that forms like the whole motivation for, also for me, like giving you this opportunity now that my full school is finally fully open and stuff, and that I prepared for you to go through the door inside right now. And what is this time about for us? What is that? Why is this now? Is this like the grand opening of sorts, and of new twin flame unions to desire to come about in the coming couple years, and these harmonious twin flame unions that we're going to create among us? Yes, your union, that they are starting to bloom in their mission, spreading the word themselves, sharing that harmonious union consciousness state that it is all about, through which you can have your true twin flame in the true joy that it's supposed to be about, in a way so that it doesn't run away anymore, this experience, right? And you're also starting to like spread that light and that peace and that harmony and the teaching. What is that about, that we're really coming to this point now, this summer together here? And I want to call in the angels to teach us more about that. And that is also because I was just reminded of that they actually came in already 3 years ago. Can you believe? Time flies. 3 years ago. It must have been 2022. I just thought about it this morning. 23, 24, 25, 3 years ago. I mean, anyway, time flies when you're having fun, I guess, and success with bringing twin flames to their harmonious union, which was, it just grabbed me and kept me off the street, so to speak, So time flies when you do that. We had success with 4 unions, so anyway, so 3 years ago the angels of the divine, of God, came in and told me basically, like, we're gonna help you with this mission. And I was like, yeah, well, okay then, because I'm not looking for weird, strange things, that that sound spooky or like angelic, or I'm not on the outlook to have these things happen, but they do happen, and this was such a case. And I could only accept and say, okay, this is what I see happening now, so apparently this is so. And actually, it's like logic all around, because it is in, let's say, the agenda of God, so to speak, in the leading edge of where spirituality is going at this moment in time, that we roll out this consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union, and that more people can share in it. That's like the agenda of God, so to speak, of this time, like the leading edge agenda, like the new additional possibility for all of us when we tap into this invitation for real. And it's actually logic that God's angels are helping with that, right? So that just came fully together, and we're now already 3 years later, and the fullness of my school is opening up so much more beyond belief almost. So yeah, I was like reminded, like, listen, these angels, they're still around. They're helping the whole endeavor. So let's ask them to come in. Let's ask them to take additional guidance from, like, God, source, universe, however you want to call it, divine mother, and whatever they want to come up with, and let them guide us in a card reading to show us more about what is this time about, what is this summer about, what is this Lion's Gate meditation or retreat really about. I am going to go on a little retreat in a short while, and you could organize that for yourself too. This is really the ultimate time of the year to do that a little bit. Even if you would only take 1 hour, to sit yourself down, close the door, and open your heart, that would already be so much. But you can, of course, make that more for yourself, such as 2 days or something. You can just stay home and do a home retreat, right? So you don't need to spend money. Just maybe put some normal, healthy boundaries in place so that you know what you're doing, and that's going to be your retreat. And then you can feel what this time is about and what twin flame union is about for you right now, in the time of God of now, and what that means, what it asks of you right now. Yeah. And if there's action that you need to take. Anyway, so we're going to ask the angels. And I was reminded also that Ovomael, I think that's a little bit how you need to say this name, was a specific angel that came to us 3 years ago in this time, a year. And that is the angel of abundance. And I mean, the group program even is called Twin Flame Abundance. And I've been talking about Twin Flame Abundance for a couple of years in so many videos, because twin flame union, when you step into the harmonious vibration that it's supposed to be about, otherwise you're not having the thing that you hope you have, that is, when you stand in it, also at the same time the opening the door towards the abundance that belongs to your soul of good experiences, and also like money and energy and support and community and everything that your heart truly desires. And it starts to come in and to flow towards you, towards your harmonious union, actually to the core of your union. It starts to come to the core of your union. And you're one of the two expressions through which that comes in the world. And that is not more than logic as well, because that's the architecture of life. That's how life works. And you just attract that. So this angel of like, oh, the overflow of life, of the abundance, the spiritual abundance of twin flame union came in. But I felt that, you know, other angels also came and stuff, just like actually like all the angels of God. And it's like there's like a tradition of the 72 angels of God, which is like deeper than Christians, more like almost a Kabbalistic tradition, I guess, or like Jewish tradition. Well, that's sort of the same, right? Anyway, that really spoke to me in this regard. And yeah, we have cards of them, and I will look into them in a bit. But I have to say, I prepared a whole couple of oracle card decks on the table right here, and I will just let myself be guided from the heart to see which one to pick up, and then I will shuffle. I already pre-shuffled them, and we will see what comes out, and then we'll just talk about what apparently is going on. But I have to say this, I was pre-shuffling and already this came out, so I was like, yeah, okay, well, we need to show this immediately. So there were two, and this is from the Mary Magdalene Oracle deck, and this one immediately came out, and it says confusion. So I think that might be the status quo with which you are going into this Lion's Gate. And guess what? We're, of course, this spiritual retreat is going to get you out of the confusion, of course. I mean, that's the whole point. So that's what I feel with that. And it's good to allow yourself to admit that you are in confusion so that you can go to clarity, right? So that you can get to a new point of action too. And then this one also flew out when I was preparing, shuffling the Dragon Fae cards. And at first I was like, maybe no Dragon Fae today, but then they were like, no, Dragon Fae want to be in it too, because they also collaborate with the angels apparently. And like this one just flew out on the floor, so it's like, okay, that one wants to manifest. And it's Hideki's door, a knock on the door. And this is like a door handle with like a flying Dragon Fae energy of a dragon on the handle. And well, this whole point of the Lion's Gate, it is a gate on which we need to knock. And then it will open. But the whole point of this is like, you need to knock on the door, and then it will open. That's also like biblical. Didn't Jesus say, or at least it was in the Bible, knock and the door shall be opened. Ask and you shall be given. So you might be in chaos and being distraught. You might have your problem with your union, like my twin flame doesn't talk to me anymore. They have another, they live on the other side of the world. They don't want to be with me romantically, only with friends. They have another culture, another religion. They already have a family. It just stopped flowing. I don't know why. Whatever your problem is, I never met them. How can I call them in? I don't understand. Whatever it is, just admit that you're in need of clarification and knock on the freaking door. Admit it and knock on the door. I would like to have an answer. I would like to receive this summer. Please, Divine Mother, Divine Father, please take me on as your child. and send me your angels to guide me. And guide me to what I need to do in the physical world outside this little meditation and retreat that I organized for myself. What is truly helpful? Point it out to me, and I will do it. So the Dragon Fae want to help you get out of that chaos and confusion and unideal situation. Because the angels, they helped me get the cards today, want you to get out of that confusion, right? So I'm looking now at my cards and I'm seeing this one. So let's have a look in the vampire deck. And aren't we all vampires? Well, just let's get this one. It was just sticking out immediately. Aren't we all vampires until we are in harmonious twin flame union and really let ourselves guide through that whole process of becoming the twin flame of our twin flame and step into that mission together, which is also the secret pillar of doing twin flame work that not many talk about. But that's also why my own background of being a business coach is very useful for you too, because to research what your mission even is of your union and what you can do in that already right now, after a little trial and error that asks for structures so that you can support yourself. And what is better than building business structures? So that's just huge. And you can start to experiment with that one as a beginning of supporting yourself in what will become you and your true twin flame in union, being in harmony and shining and beaming out what this divine love really is, and standing in your mission, which essentially means spreading that. And you can then, you have already researched a little bit how you can support yourself in that with your own business structures, which simply means structures for action, It's just helping yourself structure your time and money so that everything starts to work out instead of it's one big mess. So that is very helpful. Anyway, it is part of the Twin Flame Abundance Now school program, group program that I'm opening up. But that's just one of the 24 daily life topics that will be available for you that you can bring on the union level. So, well, that just came through for a moment. Maybe good to know. Let's see. The vampire deck says that you are an outsider. That's buitenstaander in Dutch. So the language of my mother tongue. Maybe you feel like you are an outsider and a little bit of, this person that doesn't truly belong in how society at this moment seems to work out. And how social circles ask you to function. Because when you're on the twin flame journey, it's different. You're this different person that has other experiences that are often not really understood by other people. And if they are a little bit understood, they understand it in the wrong context or something. And it's just so frustrating. You can feel so alone. You can feel so, such an outsider in a sense, until you come to a community where you're normal. That's also one of the goals of Twin Flame Abundance Now, the group course, of course. We will be coming together here among ourselves, so to speak. Everything you go through will be very normal and very, very okay. You're not alone anymore. You're not supposed to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. We can just be together in all these difficult moments that are worth it, because at the end of the road there is this divine love that is truly yours, and that is just to say or think or believe that it's not worth it is just ridiculous. And you have to see it like this. Maybe you feel like you're a little bit alone and you don't really fit in society because you're on this twin flame journey. But they, let's say the others in your story for how you might feel at this moment, they also won't have they won't have the result that you will get, like this huge healing love that is eternal. They won't experience that. So, that in the end also gives way for your mission, because you start to realize that you feel compassion for people that are not experiencing and are not going to experience, because they don't choose twin flame union yet, this divine love, and they're missing out. So you just sort of turn this whole story around. You turn the disempowerment of the feeling of I'm so alone and nobody understands me because I'm on this freaking twin flame journey. You just turn that around completely into an empowering position where you turned, let's say, the game of life or of the social world around to yourself, which is to union, which means to God and to the divine love it's all about. You just turn that game around to perfect love and the twin flame. And you see that is what you stand for, and deeper than the superficial dealings that people have with one another and society, and you in that as well. They all desire deeply, unconsciously often, that very thing that you're having or about to have because you took action. Remember, you listened this summer to what the universe told you in your little retreat and you acted on it. So then you can say that you actually sort of already have it because you are going in the right direction, isn't it? And you will have it all. That's the promise of taking this seriously. And that's also the guarantee that I give for my students. Because you'll guarantee yourself that you are going to go until you have it. And you're not going to quit until you do. And it's true for everyone because that's your architecture of your soul. So there's no way you can't attain it or something. That's not possible. Moreover, everyone that comes to me and takes it seriously and goes in with me as my student, they quickly get their progress and reach it. Because that's just how this all is set up right here in front of you. That's how it's set up, what I do for you. And that's how it functions, because Divine Mother through me promises that. That's why I'm here. I don't have any special thing to gain for it myself as the personality ego of Petra. It's just that Divine Mother functions through me like this. That's what I'm doing here on the internet. So turn that I feel alone and I feel weird completely around and go on your way towards your entirely new soul empowerment in which you are a twin flame. Moreover, you're the union, and when you make that union relationship with divine come true, they will come stand next to you because that's law. All right, and the angels are giving me all these cards and information, so they are helping us. So right now, I feel this is a good time to have a look. Like, are there specific angels or specific like angel leaders perhaps? Do we have like angel leaders that want to help us at this time? So let's get this one. Well, and this one too. And this one. And let's, 3 of them? Okay, yeah. So let's have a look which angels, angel leaders have come up, and let's have a look in the booklet. These are from the 72 angels of God. We have angel 39. The forgiving God. Reheha. That's how you need to say the name. He's from the angelic choir of the powers. He or she. Healing mental illness, depression, and distress is what this is about. It's about protection from danger, friendship, loyalty and love, great sensitivity, humility, listening to others, trust of superiors, fatherly love, obedience and respect, and regeneration. Well, there's a lot of healing in this. Healing and protection, and a lot of loyalty and friendship and love, and guidance from a fatherly hand that can guide you. The forgiving God. And the next angel that is here as an angel leader that is going to help us in the Lion's Gate time is number 6. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, the first one was from the powers, isn't it? And what are the powers? That's the choir that he was from. They are warrior angels whose mission is to fight evil, right? That's why it's like the forgiving God. Okay, and the next one was number 6. The praiseworthy God, La Lahe, from the seraphim choir, which is the first choir, or the highest choir. They purify all things. And it's about the light of love, the divine light that heals everything. Good health and fast healing from illness, spiritual enlightenment, natural beauty, the mirror of the soul. Fame and celebrity thanks to talent and personal achievement. Success and luck in the world of science. It's about lucidity and the clarity of understanding. About happiness and luck, self-expression, art and artists. Well, it's a lot about personal empowerment of who you truly are. And the spiritual light of it. And the beauty of it. Right. And then we have an angel that also wants to help us, an angel leader, 37. And this one stands for God, Lord of all virtues. Anorio. That's how you should say the name. Of the powers as well. So these warriors. The secrets of nature and concepts of the universe is where it stands for. Cycles of life and evolution. Science, overcoming adversities, breaking old patterns. History, causes and consequences. Karma, and reaping what one sows. Novelty, change of mentality, new ideas. Independence and spiritual autonomy, freedom from emotional dependence and all forms of addiction, mastery of intense intellectual and emotional impulses, protection against negative forces and emotions. Right. So I really get this feeling that we're just getting this story here from the angels that through forgiveness and healing, we can become aware of our personal beauty and soul qualities, and that they are celebrated by the divine. And that is really the story that we can experience this summer in the Lion's Gate. And they're celebrated by the divine to such a degree that you can develop virtues because you're overcoming what is not virtuous. Yeah, by connecting your identity to the divine, to being a twin flame, to being directly connected to God, by functioning directly under God with your true divine feminine or divine masculine self, and thus logically in relation to the other expression of your blueprint with which you are connected to the light of God directly. And when you do that, you do purify yourself. Your true gifts will become revealed. And you let go of what is not virtuous inside of you. As a consequence of that, you will work out that karma and be released of it. And that's how you become the divine self, with all the virtues that the divine has placed inside of you. Together with your true twin flame that is complementary, present with their virtues in your union. And everything will smooth out in your union process and in your love relationship to your twin flame because of this process. Because now you're not your ego personality, ego self that is like, but they did it and they have another and they walked away and they cannot communicate. But you say, okay, I've experienced what I have experienced there in the world, but I go to myself and I heal myself and I let myself be carried in this healing by God's angels, and I go through that purification process myself, and I allow that to happen inside myself so that I fall more together with the blueprint of my own union that I am supposed to be. So I become more of my original identity self that I'm supposed to portray inside my union. As the divine masculine or the divine feminine, whichever of the two you are on that deeper level. Whatever gender you feel comfortable with at this moment in time to put like over it to function in the world. That is connected to that deeper reality of you are the divine feminine or the divine masculine in your twin flame union. These elements are allowed to exist. You are, in truth, that invisible self as part of the union under God. And at the same time, you are a projection of wherever you are in that journey with your twin flame under God in the world with gender and all and form and all and beauty and all. And that's exactly what you're also supposed to be and portray and show and shine in. There's no contradiction between these things. But there is a purification process. And these angels will help you, and they are the leaders of sending even more angels to you to help you make steps in that this summer when you allow this process to happen. When you take a small retreat in the Lion's Gate time to ponder what you need to take action on to make it all definitively come true for yourself. Let's see. Oh, we're just going to get some Oracle of the Roses, like soft, healing, beautiful indications of what we can do for ourselves in this whole process from the angels. So let's see, which cards did they give us? The Rose without thorns. You have a right to have an experience that is without problems, right? Without issues, without bad things. You have right to a soulful pleasure. That's why the true underlying path that I actually teach my students is called the pleasure path to perfection. Did you know that? Peace. Peace with the inside in relation to God, and with the outside with whatever pleasurable fits your heart's desires. Celebrating the sweetness of life. Just a rose without thorns. That's how life is supposed to be experienced. And you can achieve that. And you are bound to achieve it, to experience that. That's your destiny. Hold fast. Giving yourself security of having a foundation. There's unseen help in this endeavor. Well, that's why we do this reading. There's unseen help from the angels. That also, that's what I feel now, and what's coming in is that they also connect you to the aspect of, well, star magic or stargates. The stargate of the Lion's Gate is actually in connection with well, I want to say Orion, but that's like channeled. Is that true, actually? Oh, here it is. I just Googled it. The Lionsgate portal is an annual astrological event occurring when the sun in Leo aligns with the star Sirius. Yeah, so I was like, I need to say the word Sirius, but I can't find a word. And then what came in was Orion, but it says this. When sun in Leo aligns with the star Sirius, the constellation of Orion, specifically Orion's belt, and the Earth. Right, so it was Orion too. Well, I didn't even consciously realize that ever. But that just came in. So the angels told you that. Between July the 28th and August the 12th. With the peak on August 8th. Well, that was just something that came up in Google. And that feels right. So, yeah. Well, there you go. So that's also what is being activated right now. We're being connected back to the wisdom that comes from that place, which is really about where the soul comes from. How the soul entered this realm. And why it entered this realm. And what all belongs to that. Well, guess what? Your twin flame belongs to that. And your mission belongs to that of your union. So you're just very connected with that realm at this moment. So, and that will support you. And there is community around that. Well, you're very welcome to be that and have that right here. So let me know with a comment below what you are going to do in the Lion's Gate for yourself. That would be fun to know. So let's see. We're going to get a personal wisdom card to see maybe what kind of wisdom you're going to get in the Lion's Gate. It's in my mother tongue Dutch. I will translate it on the fly. In love, I'm not dependent on others. Love is a state of being. So true, a state of being in which you are simply finding yourself in a harmonious relationship with your true twin flame. Because that is, you just might be a little bit blind to it right now because you're still in that process of the little bit of the purification that needs to happen before that is all revealed for you, which is fine. That's why we have community. That's why we do a retreat in Lionsgate. That's why I open up the school. That's why you come in the group of Twin Flame Abundance now for the coming months to do that, right? And it's beautiful, and everyone goes through that. before having the result. There's nobody that does not. So, yeah. All right. So let's have another wisdom card, but now spiritual wisdom. On your way to me, you will get everything that you need. That's a law. So go on your way in this little purification journey and just be assured that you will get exactly what you need. The experience that you need so that you can purify your consciousness, so that you reach harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, quickly. The money that you need to have enough to eat and have a roof over your head and pay for our meeting each other in the twin flame school. You will just get all of that when you make that decision and start to take action. So this is really like the Orion's belt and Sirius deck, right? Because it's the Egyptian deck. The famous pyramids are very connected to exactly that. And we have the card of the Egyptian cards that says rebirth. Rebirth. A state of being in which a new life starts on a higher level. See how experiences of your life serve you and make you stronger. You will experience a grand transformation. Visualization idea, you beam of light and how do we say that? And no, you win. You win the spiritual battle. Yeah. I'm just going to Google now on Orion. And Orion's belt and the pyramids of Egypt. Oops, let's see. If Google also thinks that I said something normal there, the Orion's belt pyramids theory is the hypothesis suggesting that the three largest pyramids at Giza were intentionally aligned to mirror the stars of the constellation Orion's belt. Well, there we are. Well, what are the pyramids? You know, they are, well, one of the functions that they for sure had, and what I think is the basis of what they are, is that they are instruments of initiation to become rebirthed on a higher level. Become rebirthed in the consciousness of that you now know that you are the twin flame in union with God, and you're starting to live and walk this mission that belongs to that one instead of who you thought you were in society and social world and how you grew up, while still using everything that you learned, but in this new context. And that's the rebirth that everyone goes through. Well, that wants to do a serious and complete deepening of their spiritual journey. And then you can choose, when you do that in the right connection and with the right school and with the right teacher and in the right community and in the right connection with the leading edge of spirituality, which you can get here right now, you can choose to do that, to be there and to start to live there right now already with your true twin flame instead of later on. So that's what you can do when you say, okay, I feel like I desire twin flame love with my twin flame. That sounds cool. That's actually what you're calling in. And by stepping into this invitation, you are able to make it come true. And it's beautiful. And it just can be done by you and me. It's just that you start to function on another foundation than most other people, you know, in society and stuff. That's why you feel a little bit alone and stuff. So, but it's actually, you're actually blessed with the desire to live the new possibility of living the true blueprint of your soul. And that's actually good. It's not weird or lonely. It's just the good thing. It's a right thing to have. You're good, not wrong. So, anyway. So let's ask the angel answers. Angels, are we in the right direction right now? Are we going in the right direction? Ask for help from others. Okay. Ask for help from others. Yeah, when you want to do all this and reach all this, well, we already talked about this. You don't need to do this alone. It's not necessary. That's not how it is designed. So that's why also in this Lion's Gate, we open up the opportunity to step into the group course, because you don't have to do it alone. You can ask for help, and there's nothing more normal than that. And that's also what I did. And that's just the thing to do. That's how you get there. And that's how you finally make it work. So, more angels, but then like mission-bound angel cards. So let's see. Oh, that one moved. Weird. But which one was it? Was it this one? I think so. Author. Well, I'm certainly writing a book. Are you as well? But here's the thing. You are the author of your own journey, and you can stand up and say, okay, I take action. I go into the right community. I go do the correct twin flame inner work, and I accept guidance. And that's how you start to rewrite your miserable twin flame experiences to a success story. And you are at the helm of that, and people don't realize that. Well, the point is also like, it's not your ego personality that is the boss of that, but it's, let's say, your deeper self, your soul, like where you are a twin flame inside yourself, where that spiritual truth about you is already true. That is the place inside of you. That is the one that can stand up and step forward and claim the steering wheel. And that's what you do. That's the invitation of this summer. That's the invitation to take action in the Lion's Gate. To first ponder what that action is, and like, who is this person that is going to take action, right? Who is this true identity that the angels of God want to free up for you, so that you know who that is inside of you that is going to take action, that is going to say yes this summer, that is going to be the author of your twin flame success story instead of your twin flame sad love sequel or something that you had before. So that also means that you can let go, of the old story, and that can be difficult. By the way, okay, that one moved and that one too. So let's get these two then. All right. Did you know that being the author, standing on the helm of your own story, is also part of Twin Flame Abundance Now, the group program, and it's one of the 24 themes that you can move through every year inside of it to bring on the union level for yourself. And that is going to be, you can be literally the author of your own Twin Flame story that can become your Twin Flame book. Do you want to write it? Maybe that's just a beautiful thing to already start doing now. Or start to find how the pleasure of the writing action itself can inspire you so much to go deeper with your spiritual work. For instance, also think about, you are going to be encouraged by me, by Divine Mother through me, to do the key exercise. And that works very well. We're going to talk about these cards in a second. By writing it down every time. And maybe you're going to do also like extensions of the central key exercise. Like, I'm going to do this key exercise, but I'm also going to do a little bit of the yoga, source magic yoga at the same time. And I connect that to what we're essentially doing in the key exercise, but in a little bit more of a bodily way. I'm also going to do a little bit of the other thing. But central is key. And you will be invited to write that down for yourself every day, every moment. When you do it on your own, yourself, it's very helpful to write. So writing itself becomes a way to like feed your spiritual practice needed for twin flame union. That is like cool in itself. It's like lovely in itself. It is like inspirational in itself. And it's also very handy to start like a diary every day where you write about how you feel in your journey every day. And then from that experience of like writing in your diary every day a little bit, you make the step towards doing the twin flame inner work with key every day for yourself, which you also write down. Because in your diary, things have become clear what you need to do inner work on. And then you're going to do the inner work also with writing. So writing can actually be a beautiful, magical part of what you're going to do. So you and doing that twin flame inner work with the key tool while writing it down, I mean, that is in itself the action of being the author that rewrites their own twin flame journey, because the key exercise does literally ask you to rewrite your whatever is bothering you that you put down in words in a new way. That new way is like the twin flame way, that is like healing. So it's like writing is like a healing practice in itself. And that's why writing is also part of the daily life topics that you're going to go through in the group program. So there you go. So what were we talking about? Transformation. Anyway, I have 2 cards. So I don't know. Let's have a look. I got these from the transformation. What did I say? This is like the transformation deck. Duh. And the transformation deck is full of mythological scenes and moments that are like transformers often, often between like animal and human. And they say something about soul transformative moments in these mythological animal human moments of stories. And we have here how are we going to translate that? Sort of a mermaid news. You attracted this mermaid news that is also having the dragonfly mermaid. That's what it says. Dragonfly mermaid news. All right, you attracted beautiful news. As a crossover between a water animal like a fish and a human being. And the water is, of course, very much about your deeper heart's emotions of twin flame love. And then you meet this dragonfly, which is to me personally also a twin flame sign in itself. It's an ancient animal form, prehistoric animal form that is still around, and it's very sophisticated. It can fly back and forth and move its wings independently from each other. And I see them all the time in summer. That's kind of normal. I see them with their twin flame, with their partner, dancing in the air. And that has happened on a whole couple of important twin flame moments on my journey. And it happened again like last week, or what was it? It really was. I was just sitting at the lake nearby. I can just walk there in 15 minutes and sit there and stare at the water. Really nice. And then, guess what? The dragonflies were there again, like dancing with each other. Two, of course, two. It's like this pairing dance, like, oh, Yeah, we twin flames, we're dancing again. We're dancing again all the time. We're dancing with each other. Yeah. And it's also on my rosary chain that I designed after myself, after I did a whole 1.5 year of saying the rosary every day, which is also like a step outside the central key tool that you can do, and you can combine it with, because I made the Source Magic Rosary for you, just like I did make Source Magic Yoga for you. You can find all this information when you go deeper with my actual work and you buy my e-courses and you come to the group program, etc., etc. There's so much to be said about that, but we're gonna leave that for another time. But I did design it myself, so it's a prayer chord that you can use to say a certain meditational source magic prayer that is connected to the same twin flame inducing methodology that the key exercise for twin flame inner work is central in. And I designed this one myself because I liked it. I loved it like this. And just this beautiful girl from the USA made it. She executed it for me. You know, I only designed it myself, but she executed it. And it has like 2 dragonfly balls here. So they're made out of dragonflies, both of them. Well, guess what? Twin flame dragonfly balls. Always communicating, dancing with each other. All right, that was just a side story that we can say so much about, and we will one day. And when you go deeper with my actual work, when you step into the world behind the screen and behind the videos, you will be able to discover all of this, and it will also start to work in your favor, because that's how all my work is designed. It's designed to make you go deeper, and I know that it will because it has already been proven. Recent videos, look at my dress. I also was wearing the dragonfly brooch on my green dress. Not today, but anyway. So you attracted wonderful news. Just beautiful. So I guess that this summer in the Lionsgate, you do attract news, a message, something significant for you, an opportunity, something that comes through that you can accept and hear and enjoy and go in and take and make the first step and let the rest follow and whatnot. And the other card is going to be transformation, is what we were talking about with the transformation cards. Oh, well, it's about this. Oh, I think I need to go on my computer again to find the name for that animal. Let's see. How are we going to translate that, you know? It's about that you are being protected. You're being protected. That's what it says. Hello? Hello? It's not working. So we're going to do that here. And beetle, of course. Oh, gosh. Okay, beetle. It's the shield of the beetle shield, that you cannot hurt. How are we going to translate that? Okay. Inviolable beetle shield. Oh. And you have it. So be assured that it is going to be deeply touching and vulnerable what you're going to do in the Lionsgate and how that feels, where the message can touch you. And it's going to be overwhelmingly like vulnerable perhaps, but know that you are protected. Be not afraid of that. The whole point of the twin flame journey is that you are going to stand there fully naked in your original motivations, in your heart's honesty. That's the whole point. There is nothing to be gained when you don't want that one first. So, but be assured that you are protected. And that is also what is being taught in A Course in Miracles, which is very much the angels want to promote this for you now, very much promoted by the angels. It's a method to go to union consciousness while you want to go to twin flame union. So guess what? That helps for union consciousness. So it helps for union. And that is also what is being said in A Course in Miracles. And that is that your vulnerability is your protection. When you are truly in that state, it protects itself. And in that sense, in another sense, you could say it does not need protection because it just is. And what is, that is, and doesn't need protection. So you are protected in another way of speaking. That's what is meant with the card. And what is. So what is part of what is? The isness of your being is that you are a twin flame with your true twin flame. That's the isness of what you are. It's your true identity in God. You cannot undo it. Not even when you die, because you will rebirth in another incarnation, still having a twin flame. So, and still having the same twin flame, not the same body, but the same twin flame, the same core of them, that is the twin flame of you. Because you cannot undo it. It is the isness of what you are, which also implies that it's actually very simple. But because we're human beings, it's very simple to be with your twin flame because it's the isness of what you are. But apparently it is difficult because otherwise you would already live that beautiful together life with them that you desire, and you're not doing that. And that's because we're having all kinds of things that stand between this simplicity and us as very human people that still need to work through what stands between that, you know. So that's the work. That's why we're here. That's why we share it. It's a beautiful process, and you're invited to come do that together. Starting this Lion's Gate. Yeah, ACIM, A Course in Miracles, speaks about that the isness of you does not need you don't need to defend it. When you're doing that, that's not it. Stop doing that because you're defending something that you're apparently not, because otherwise it doesn't need to be defended. So, yeah, that's A Course in Miracles, this book. It's an alone standing methodology that I advise because the Christ Masters that I co-create this possibility for you to go to Harmonious Twin Flame Union and be successful. I co-created with them. They have guided us to take that as a beautiful way to help you with union consciousness. Because it does describe, they told me personally, and I mean that very literally personally, that it is their underlying philosophy of what they mean, what every Christed Master means with their respective spiritual teachings that sometimes are very famous, such as the Buddha, also a Christed Soul Family member that is not alive today, and I'm not meaning that one when I say they told me personally. Krishna is another one. With Hinduism, that came forth out of that one, of course. Jesus, incredibly famous, and Christianity, that came forth out of that one. We will actually very soon, it's just a little bit of another message, but here it comes. I will just throw it in between here. Very soon, we will be talking online about if Christianity is actually from Jesus or if it is from Paul. And I will be talking about that while I channel with cards as well. So watch out for that video to come up real soon. I think it's live on Friday. Oh no, Saturday, I think. Anyway, you'll find it already on my live tab. But I also don't necessarily even mean Jesus when I say the Christ Masters told me literally, because there are 14 Christ Masters of that Christed Soul family that has many very famous members. They're alive right now, and I met of most of that 14 people's unions, at least one of them. I guess that was my destiny, to have met them and also have put this sort of measuring tape of what teachings are truly working for Twin Flame union between them and me, and we were on the same page, which was just mind-blowing to start with. Anyway, that's the ones that I mean when I say the Christ Masters came with this idea to also take for union consciousness this method on board for those who want that. So I started to work with that one too. But I mean, it is in fact an explanation of what the Bible really is about, right? So and when you go deep enough with that all, then you start to understand that actually everything was already in the Bible. It's just that we overlooked it. So it just gives a whole new opening for the entire Bible as well. Anyway, we might go a little bit too far here, but so in the end, you can also read the Union Consciousness course in the Bible. Now, this is all from the Christ Masters, and I co-create with them. So it's what I said is measuring tape or something that was oh, we actually did the same thing. And I just literally measured that out with them in this life, literally with them. And that's how I still co-create with them, but then in spirit at this point, because the moment of the physical togetherness has already taken place in my life and is now just being incorporated in everything I do and present, etc. So for your benefit. And right now the Christed Masters are working they're trying to work us towards harmonious twin flame union, right? That's what they're aiming at. That's what they're wanting at this time, and that's why they're here to be exemplary people that do that one at this time. So it's not going to be like Krishna that did his thing, and the Buddha that was ooh, nothing, and that was at that time in that culture at that time God's leading edge, let's do this. And then you have this exemplary teacher that later on becomes very famous. So that's what this soul family is famous for. And right now we live in a time where that is for I want to say for angels. Why did I want to say for angels? Well, for all of us twin flames to come out as that and add that to our divine identity, because we were already that, and then start live that in the flesh. So that's what we're doing right now. And yeah, the angels are all fully about that and in and around that too. And that's also one of the reasons why they came to me and stuff, because that is just the mission that is here. And also because they were there and they're now also here. And that's why the angels of God helped me in my mission and stuff. So that's just also simple spiritual logic. Anyway. So the fact that we use A Course in Miracles as a union consciousness entrance is just for those who want to have that and feel that is helpful for them to go into that consciousness shift with that extra help of that one. But that is I co-create with that. I don't speak A Course in Miracles because I am not the Christ Master. I co-create with it, and I stand for something myself, and that's like the creative identity method. That's much more like energy attuned in a sense, while Course in Miracles and the Christ Masters are much more like divine mind attuned. And in methodology land, you could say that my method is more like divine feminine in nature, and theirs is more like divine masculine in nature. To say something about the quality of the methodologies, they are not literally twin flames, but to say something about the quality of these methodologies. Anyway, I am able to guide you with both and through both. And if certain things speak to you at a certain moment in what you're going to do with us in our school, then I understand you there. I can guide you with and in that right there. So, yeah, we just include that as possibility. So let's see what that brings us with more things. Abundance cards, divine abundance cards. Yeah, I feel that we're there. Oops, this one. Well, angels, let us know. Oh, divine flow is going to be the quality that will come to us from all of this. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. And that is going to be the flow that you're going to stand in with all your might, all your being, everything that you are and have. And your twin flame will stand next to you there. You'll start to bloom in your mission. That's just divine law. It's simple. It's simply the truth. And it sounds easy. It also is easy, but then it's not easy because we have just that little bit of a nudge. The need for the little bit of the nudge. And a little bit of the clarification. And a little bit of the purification. And, well, let's do a little bit of very earthy things here with the Native American cards that always remind me that I have a peace vow, as I had an incarnation as a clan mother of the Peace Clan of the Native Americans. This is my spiritual vow. That's why I'm here in the world again, because I need to work on that with you. The teepee, I guess we're just going to be at home there. That's where we're going to be at home. You need to feel at home there in this new place where you're standing in the flow of the divine. And you're just going to live there, isn't it? You're going to be protected there again. When faced with adversity or a seemingly unlovable situation, retreat to a safe space, literally and metaphorically, and wait out the storm. I'm sorry. Sure. There was a rainstorm with thunder just outside right now, by the way. We're just waiting out the storm in our safe, divine flow place that right now coincides with the Lion's Gate, where the divine angels nudge us deeper so that we can take the one and only divine guided action there. Oh, okay. Well, let's go to the classical tarot. That is actually not a classical edition. Two cards are turned around. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that they're valid, I guess, for the reading. Just giving it a little bit more of a shuffle here. They're actually not classical in how they look. They're medieval paintings. reminding me of the fact that I was educated as an art historian. That's a little bit fun because it's really wrong, of course. So let's take that one too. Okay. It's not real medieval paintings. It's tarot. They're like cut and pasted in Photoshop, which is really fun. Anyway, let's have a look what we get. The Seven of Cups. Well, we can choose our higher selves and our sort of lower selves, like abundance of money and jewels and gold and fame, and or like our anima and like divine wisdom. But why not take them all and then also make them come true, and not only as a daydream projected on the screen of life, but let's make them come true. But then also, when you think about union consciousness and how consciousness works on the whole, this is how consciousness works. We are the deeper divine gaze that sees things on a screen as if you're sitting in a movie theater. We see things on a screen that are not here, that are in the matrix, that are in the hologram, that are in the world, that are in the body energy kind of world. But we are the gaze that rests in the divine and that is one with the divine, and where we are together eternally with our true twin flame. That is a very loving experiential place. That's where we're really, and everything that we experience with our twin flame, with separated from our twin flame, it's all on the screen as if it's a movie. Like it's just a movie, people. It's just the hologram, people. You can change that shit. Because when you go back to the one that is gazing upon it all, that's where you can heal yourself so that your movie gets better. Repair your movie there. And so the whole movie on this sheet on the screen is held up by Divine Mother. That's really fun. Which is the identity of how Mary and Divine Mother work esoterically. Anyway, so it's really great symbology, great deck. Thanks, angels, for this card and the story that we're telling with it. Very good. It's just that our story can get better, then will get better if we repair it in the gaze, in the divine gaze, where we are in God's light with our true twin flame. And we repair ourselves, and then that story on the screen becomes our eternal romance. And that is the healing Four of Swords. Is this healing. That's the healing we're undergoing. It's our inner perception, actually. So maybe you can get just a smidge of that in the Lionsgate this summer. So let me see. I think we're coming at the end also of the cards. Maybe I did have them all. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just letting myself be guided. So, and now we are going to have like the dessert. That's going to be the Angels of Abundance. Angels of Abundance? More Angels of Abundance? No, I think this is just the Angels of Abundance. Anyway, I already got the card. Attracting, not chasing. We're going to attract it all, not chase it. Anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way, because of the fears underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So true. What a beautiful end of this reading. Thank you, angels, for letting us discuss so many things in this time together. for guiding us through this whole recipe for how to go deeper in the Lion's Gate this summer of 2025. And I hope that it guides you, it inspires you, and know that I do have a moment on Sunday, July 27th, when you would be welcome to claim a little bit of time online with me, in which we can meet via Zoom, and then we can discuss if you are going to choose this summer to step into Twin Flame Abundance now, if that is fit for you, if you are fit for it, and what your needs are concerning your union, and if they will be met by that program. We can discuss that. So I will leave the link for that in the description box below and in the pinned comment. Of course, you'll also find the link towards the description of the program itself also at the same place. And I'm just wishing you such a beautiful Lion's Gate. I hope you do take your time. You close the door for an hour or a day or whatever fits your situation, and you can just thrive in your pondering, in your meditation, in your caring for your soul, and allowing the angels and all the other powers that we talked about to guide you to a deeper place. And let us know with a comment below how that is going for you. Much love from Petra.